$1 billion in debt. $1 billion in debt. $1 billion in debt. $1 billion in debt on a bunch of illegal immigrants.
They don't get to kick us out. They don't get to engineer the way to get us out.
A bunch of illegal immigrants stealing our money. Y'all stealing our money. You stealing. You stealing. You damn thieves. You thieves.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and I've got a question for you. Can you really blame this woman for being frustrated? Chicago spent over $460 million. Hear me now. $460 million on illegal immigrants in the past 2 years. And people are absolutely fed up. Most of that money, $291 million, went to a private company in Kansas for staffing migrant shelters, and another $86 million, including $30 million from Chicago taxpayers, went to a company in Kentucky. Meanwhile, over 47,000 migrants have poured into the city since August of 2022, while Americans struggle to just get by. So can you blame their frustration? Chicago replaced an incompetent far-left mayor with an even more incompetent far-left mayor. You can't make this stuff up. So is this really the government that they deserve? It's hard to understand how people in these cities keep voting Democrat and expect different results. It's true insanity playing out right before our eyes.
Welcome back. The city of Chicago is facing a nearly $1 billion budget deficit for fiscal year 2025. And the mayor says everything is on the table to fill that hole, like raising property taxes, a hiring freeze, and cuts to city services. Ninth Ward Alderman Anthony Beal joins me now. Alderman, thanks for tuning in this morning, checking in with us.
Well, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How did we get to this point?
Well, we knew that this cliff was coming years ago. We knew we had a pension deficit that was coming. And we knew that, coming out of the pandemic, things were still slow. Coming out of the pandemic, downtown is still recovering. And so we've been looking at all these different things going on that really caused this hole. But we didn't do anything to prepare for it. We spent all the COVID money creating programs and creating additional jobs. And now that COVID money is running out, that's adding, more deficit to our revenue on a day-to-day basis. So we didn't do anything last year to raise property tax fees or fines or anything, and we just kind of punted last year, and that also added to this hole. And so it was a compound of really bad judgments that really got us here.
Wait, hold up. You're blaming the fact that you didn't raise property taxes last year? Chicago already has some of the highest taxes in the nation, and that's your solution. Instead of looking at the $400 million you've blown on migrants, you're telling residents, you're telling the citizens or the citizens of Chicago, they're in $1 billion hole because you didn't take more of their money last year. This is what happens when you play sanctuary city games. You get sanctuary city issues. Democrats are so focused on open arms policies, they've forgotten who they're actually supposed to serve. And that's the American people. That's the people out there in Chicago and the actual taxpayers. Chicago's bleeding money, and their solution is to raise taxes, cut services, and keep spending millions on migrants. You can't make this stuff up, man.
It sounds like you're almost blaming yourself for this. Was it you? Was it the mayor's office? Who's to blame?
Well, it wasn't me, because I voted against every budget the last 5 years. And so it was definitely the guidance of the administration that really pushes the agenda as far as our budgets are concerned. And so when you look at our budgets, it's the mayor's responsibilities to present us with budgets. And, I've been fighting tooth and nail about all these bad decisions that have been made. And it's just right now, it's not enough of us in the city council to, really right the wrongs that are going on. When you look at the fact that we spent $814,000 on a wrought iron fence during the pandemic, knowing that we have a deficit, why would you do something like that? Why would we spend over $600 million on migrants when we have a deficit like this? Why didn't we have a hiring freeze or start furlough days back in March and April if you knew we had a deficit like this coming. And so there was no preparation. So it's just bad decisions going forward.
So wait, which one is it, man? Is it $600 million or is it $400 million like the dashboard showed? Either way, that's a whole heck of a lot of money spent on non-citizens. That's just in the city of Chicago. Imagine what the total number is under the Biden-Harris administration. Chicago's been run by Democrats for decades, and every year there's a deficit. But no worries, the older people say. Just raise taxes. Maybe the $500 million spent on migrants could have helped the deficit, but no. Tax and spend is all Democrats know. These people are just completely ridiculous.
All I can say to you is that you are a disgrace. I'm an 80-year-old woman, and I've never seen anything like this. I grew up in the Jim Crow South, and the policies that you're passing in this city remind me of the Jim Crow South. I had to drink out of a colored water fountain, or the whites would drink out of a white water fountain. But you know what I didn't have to worry about? Going back to my community and it would be destroyed. And everybody else is in my community but Black people. And this is what you've done with this immigration. You have allowed all these people, you brought all these people into this city. You are destroying this city. And the Black community is flooded with all of these immigrants, violent ones, prostitution, gangs. You did that. You are doing this to your people. You are an absolute disgrace to me. Like I said, I drank out of that colored water fountain, but I could go back to that Black community that was intact. Women are crying. Taxes are going up. What am I going to do with my children? Where are we going to go and live? This is because of you, Brandon Johnson. You're destroying the south side of Chicago with your policy, all under the Democratic Party. You are a disgrace.
First off, this woman looks absolutely wonderful for 80 years old. Are you kidding me? Goodness gracious, man. And she's absolutely right. She is absolutely right in everything that she said. They are a disgrace. Brandon Johnson has been a disgrace. They're not used to Black folks walking into City Hall crying out for change. What they're used to is patting you on the back saying, hold tight, we'll fix it, while stringing you along with excuses. Chicago right now is drowning in debt, $1 billion worth of it. And guess who pays for it? The taxpayers, Chicago citizens. And who's to blame? Johnson, Biden, Harris. They all claim, it's about democracy, but when people show up to vote or speak up, they cut the lights, reschedule, or block it. That's no democracy. It's a dictatorship with a smile. They blame Republicans, but what we're seeing now from Democrats, they're the real threat to democracy. They are the real threat to this constitutional republic that we live in. They are the real dictatorship. There was a lady the other day, I watched, I believe her name is Jill Stein. She's part of the Green Party. She's running, in this race right now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. But she, out of her own mouth, no one refuted on the panel that she was on, said that the Democrats have been fighting the Green Party and her tooth and nail to keep them off of the ballots all throughout this country. The Democrat Party has hired tons of lawyers to keep people like Jill Stein off the ballot. But yet they say that Trump is the true threat to democracy. I mean, these people are ridiculous, man. And right now, you have Democrats out there like Brandon Johnson bowing to the Biden-Harris agenda. And guess what? The Chicago citizens, they're the ones who suffer. And the rest of us that live in these sanctuary cities or sanctuary states like Colorado and New York City, it's the American people, it's the taxpayers, it's the citizens. We're the ones who actually suffer from these very poor policies that put Americans in danger and also put Americans on the back burner.
Hi, my name is Sally Hartman. I'm a volunteer with the Center for Worker Justice. Okay. I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one.
on day one? Really? On day one? They're literally telling you that this is only the beginning. They're going to keep continuing to flood our cities, our communities with illegal immigrants on day one. Nothing's going to stop if this lady wins. But then they'll turn around and go blame the Republicans for the madness that's happening in these cities all across the country. These people are ridiculous, man. Don't fall for it.
Then you let more ex-convicts in here in the name of migrants. But they want to tell you that it's this on the state, it's on the Republicans. All politics is local. In this state, don't let them fool you. From the top, from the lieutenant governor to Tony Prackwinkle, to the mayor, to the police chief, to the state's attorney, to the aldermen, to the congressperson, to the state reps, all are black. You got 150 elected black positions, and our communities look the way they look. And if I say something, if it's not with my brother, he just got there. They want to legislate for us without ever bringing us at the table. I did 21 years in the prison. What they gonna tell me about what we need?
Oh yeah, that brother was cooking. He was cooking. Don't be fooled, America. This is the Democrat agenda. The migrants being brought into the Midwest under the Biden-Harris administration are here illegally, without visas or lawful status, through executive orders that bypass the Constitution. They are effectively enabling an invasion. The administration, supported by complicit politicians, is undermining the rule of law. The reality is this: if they continue to vote for Democrats, the situation will only get worse. Politicians should be local, and as that brother rightfully pointed out, they need to ask themselves, though, what do you have to lose by trying something different? Democrats have shifted so far left, driven by their singular hatred for one person. Their power relies on dividing us, keeping us divided. Think about it. If Chicagoans continue to support them, no matter how bad things get, why would they ever change? It's like supporting or cheering for a coach who keeps making bad calls and bad decisions. The team keeps losing, but the fans continue to show up. Why would the coach ever improve if the support is so unwavering? Regardless of failure, as voters, we must demand better. The people out in Chicago must demand better. They have to, because if they don't, they and we will be stuck in this losing streak. So I urge you on November 5th to think carefully before you cast your vote. We deserve leaders who strive to win for us, who wants to put America first, American citizens first, its veterans first. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, the team, the channel. It gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And we'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.